Okay, so I'm recording now, and I'd like to start off the session today. So thanks again to all the panelists here and to all the audience that are online right now, and to the future international audience that would be viewing this clip if they're not with us at this moment. It's my pleasure. My name is Joshua Go. I'm the Associate Professor at National Taiwan University and one of the co-organizers of BrainHack School Taiwan site. It's my pleasure to host the Taiwan site's academic industry synergy panel. I think this is a great idea, a great platform for scientists, academics who have gone into industry or are also in industry and vice versa to share their background and to share their experiences with the students. I'm sure many students, especially here in Taiwan, are do at some point in your life you would have entertained the question as a graduate student, as an academic, should I go into industry? How do I go into industry? What do I need to prepare, towards that end? Or should I stay in academics, right? What are the kinds of problems or considerations that I should be aware of? So to help students and actually even myself, right, to know more about this very, very difficult question, we've been able to invite 4 panelists today. Right now, I see 3 of them. We will see how the 4th panelist comes on later. But I'm just going to do, in terms of a format, just to give everyone a quick intro. What I'm going to do is a very quick lightning introduction of the 4 panelists, because later they will introduce themselves in more detail. And then after that, I will go through the panelists in their alphabetical order of their names. And each of them will give you 8 minutes of their sharing. And then after that, we will have a very brief Q&A, and we will keep to 1 hour timeline as much as possible. Okay, because I know everyone has their time, and also this is an international thing, so the time difference and keeping to the time is important. Okay, so the 4 speakers or the 4 panelists that we have today. First up is Professor Isaac Wen-Yih Tseng. He is right now a co-founder and CEO of Acrovis. It's a company that uses AI technology to assess and predict cognitive decline, and associated clinical issues. And he's also, at the same time, adjunct professor at National Taiwan University College of Medicine. And next we have Professor Li-Wei Ko. He's a professor at a Institute of Electrical and Control Engineering at National Yangming Jiaotong University. He also has a lot of medical devices, brain-computer interface as of his interests, right? And he has also done a lot of interactions with industry and the like. Next, we have Professor Po-Lei Lee. You just joined us. Yes, welcome. And Professor Lee, he is at the National Central University, the Department of Electrical Engineering, yeah. And he is also interested in brain measurement and bioelectrical stimulation, and has a lot of devices under his umbrella, and collaborates with a lot of industry on that front as well. And finally, we have Professor Dr. Chien-Te Vince Wu. And he's right now at the University of Tokyo in the International Research Center of Neurointelligence. And Chien-Te used to be, Chien-Te now is working in the industry, also collaboration, but he also used to be, of note, used to be in National Taiwan University as well. So without further ado, I'm just gonna, let the panelists talk, and because their words are more important than mine today. I will now hand the time over to Professor Tseng Wen-Yih Isaac.
Thank you, Joshua, for your introduction. Now I share my slides.
Yes.
Can you see my slides?
Not yet. Hang on. Maybe can you share it again?
Okay, just a second.
Yeah. Okay, something's happening. Okay, we see your slides now. You can start the yeah.
Okay, so thanks again, Joshua, for your kind introduction. My name is Wen-Yih Tseng. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Acroviz. Acroviz is a company that provides an objective measure of cognitive decline based on MRI data. I joined the company in 2020 when I retired from NTU. Before joining Acroviz, I was professor of medical device and imaging at National Taiwan University College of Medicine, and also an attending doctor of medical imaging at NTUH. I got my PhD at MIT and MD degree at NTU. And my bachelor's degree is in nuclear engineering. Therefore, my education and training provide me a solid background in medicine and engineering. I will start with an unmet clinical need, MCI, mild cognitive impairment. People with MCI have subtle cognitive symptoms, but they can still maintain the ability to perform most of the daily living activities independently. MCI is considered the prodromal phase of dementia because the probability of converting to dementia is higher than that of normal people. The conversion rate is about 10% per year. Currently, about 1 out of 5 people aged 60 or older are living with MCI. People with MCI are very heterogeneous. They have different cognitive outcomes. About 40% of them will convert to dementia, and 60% will remain unchanged or even revert to normal cognition. The uncertainty of cognitive outcome makes the treatment of MCI patients very difficult. Acroviz provides an AI-powered objective measure of axonal brain age to solve the problem of uncertain cognitive outcome of MCI. Axonal brain age is the output of an AI algorithm used to train hundreds of brain diffusion MRI data to indicate the actual axonal aging status of an individual. The gap between axonal brain age and the individual's chronological age, so-called axonal aging gap, presents the degree of axonal degeneration. In addition to axonal brain age of the whole brain, we also provide axonal brain age of 8 cognitive networks, which are relevant to symptoms of dementia. They include 4 memory networks: episodic memory, semantic memory, implicit memory, and working memory. 2 high-function networks, including attention and language networks, and 2 sensory and motor networks, including sensory motor and visual networks. Using a database at Washington University in St. Louis, we show that axonal brain age gap can differentiate people with different degrees of cognitive impairment. As shown here on your left, people with normal cognition, people with MCI, and patients with mild dementia, they have very different axonal brain age gaps. From 0 in normal cognition to 5 years in MCI to 12 years in mild dementia. More importantly, on the slide on your right, we found that axonal brain age gap can identify a subpopulation of MCI who convert to dementia in 2 years. MCI patients who progress to dementia exhibit significantly larger axonal brain age gap, 9 years here, as compared with patients who do not convert to dementia, 5 years, and those who revert to normal cognition, 2 years. So our data suggests that axonal brain age can predict progressive MCI 2 years earlier. Our data are published in a peer-reviewed journal, JAD, in 2022. At the moment, we provide brain health checkup service to health clinics in Taiwan. Here is our business model. It is a B2B2C model. We make contracts with health checkup clinics, and the clinics send their customers to a designated MRI site to perform axonal brain age scanning. The MRI site transfers the MRI data to Acrovis for brain age analysis, and Acrovis sends the axonal brain age reports to the clinics. The clinicians in the clinics will explain the brain age results and provide brain health recommendations to the customers. Here is the cover page of the axonal brain age report. The front page presents the summary of a customer's brain age. The axonal brain age of this customer is 64 years, very close to the customer's chronological age, which is 64.9 years. This means the person's brain is in good shape. When we look at 8 cognitive networks, the 2 high-function networks, that is attention and language networks, exhibit apparently old brain age as compared with memory and sensory motor networks. Therefore, cognitive training program in language and attention is recommended to this customer. At the moment, we are applying for the regulatory approval of axonal brain age in clinical settings. Acrovis' vision is brain health for all. For this, I published a book, Healthy Brain Aging, a neuroscientist's brain health manual in 2022. In the first half of the book, I explain why some people get dementia and some people don't. In the second half of the book, I describe how to improve brain health to prevent dementia using the axonal brain age as an objective measure of brain health. Finally, thank you for your attention.
Oh, thank you, Prof. Tseng. Very exciting news from your business. And now we will turn to next in line is Professor Ke Li-Wei. If you could share your screen.
Yes. Yeah, let me share.
Oh, and I take this time also to remind everyone that if you have questions, you can ahead of time, you can also post them in the chat for the WebEx, and we'll pick them up later as well.
Oh. Can you see my slide now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, this is Li-Wei Ko from National Yangming Jiao Tong University. So it's my great pleasure to join this BrainHack school. Yeah, so today I'm going to talk about the ongoing, the latest development brain-computer interface in the clinical application. So this slide just shows my lab. So we are working on the development of the latest new wireless EEG device. So as you can see in the left panel here, and also it is combined with the dry EEG sensors, unlike the wet EEG sensor used in the clinical hospital. So using dry EEG sensor will be more convenient and can be applied into several environments, such as at home or outside hospitals. Yeah, so and we also developed several AI, artificial intelligence algorithms, and also developed the EEG circuits, miniaturized the circuit and system, yeah, to manufacture such device. So then we can apply such EEG device to do several clinical application. So later I will take 3 examples, for you, as the reference. And then we also collaborate with many hospitals and also industrials, to to form as a team to develop such a device. So you can see this is the example. We collaborate with KMUH, Kaohsiung Medical University Hospital, and we focus working on the stroke patient to do neural rehabilitation. So then patient can using their brain waves to control the exoskeleton and for doing the neural rehabilitation. So here this is show our lab papers and some awards. Just for your references. So here we are talking about the wearable BCI in smart healthcare. So what is BCI? Briefly speaking, so it is like a traditional machine learning flow chart, data analysis flow chart. So the data acquisition will be from our brain waves. We call the EEG signals. And after signal acquisition, so we will do the feature extraction and the feature translation and the transfer into several comments and for the application, such as we can do the replace, restore, or enhancement, or supplement, or improve, and so on. So here I want to share with you the neuroscience research using the EEG equipment, the trends of these publication articles. So as you know that neuroscience is a very hot research topic in the past 50 years. Okay, it's still a very new and quite hot topics. So you can see the red bar. Red bar, it means the trends, the number of increasing of the EEG studies, EEG publications. They might use a traditional wet equipment to doing that. But we found that a new trend that if we use wireless EEG and translate to the for the real environment studies, so the publication rate is also increasing, and more in the recent years. So we also did a survey, in the latest publication in IEEE BHI this year, and we also listed the 7 leading brain-computer interface company. So here, the leading, it means that they can collect much more research funding or receive many donations to form as a business. So the first one you may know that. So the founder is Elon Musk. So one of his company called Neuralink. So it's kind of a BCI company. So and also Neurable, Emotive, and Kernel, NextMind, and other companies. So you can see, it's a quite big business in BCI. So here just briefly introduce Neuralink BCI system. You may know that Elon Musk they want to develop a invasive and penetrate and miniaturize circuits and with these polymer probes into the human. But right now they perform several clinical studies in animals like monkey or mouse, big rat. So here this is their they have a robotic electrode inserter and also their device, their circuit. Okay, here. And also there are several famous companies like Google, Facebook, Microsoft, and also Apple. They also have BCI branch in the world. So here we just want to share with you our NYCU BCI device. So here you can see like a EEG, like a headset, and combined with several EEG sensors. We call dry EEG sensors. So you can see these are all our student manufacture and integrate the circuit by ourselves. So then we can apply this device into the several neurological disorder applications, such as sleep or stroke or ADHD. So here I want to take 3 examples here. Yeah, so the first one is to do for enhancing the post-stroke rehabilitation. Here just list the publication for your references. So the basic idea is that right now there are many different companies and also get the FDA approved. Yeah, for instance, like this is EPC hand. So they develop a robotic growth and to using brainwave to control the growth. Yeah, so that can help a patient to do the rehabilitation. Our idea is that we want to integrate the exoskeleton. So these we collaborate with the Free Bionics from Taiwan. It's a local company, and also other exoskeleton robots. Yeah, so we can form as a neuroadaptive brain machine platform. Yeah, for doing neural rehabilitation here. So here is a brief introduction of our system flowchart. So I will skip the details, and we can see the a quick demo here. So this is a real stroke patient. So who can use a brainwave to control the exoskeleton for doing the neural rehabilitation. So this test site is in the Kaohsiung Medical University Hospital. So right now, the patient is looking at the panel and try to engage and rising their motor movement related cortical potential for control the exoskeleton. Yeah, so you can see that she already performed success for controlling the exoskeleton here. Okay, so just a quick brief introduction about this part. And the second one is we can also using the EEG device to doing ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorders. So this is just show US FDA, Food and Drug Administration permitted that the first game-based digital therapeutic method to improve ADHD children. Yeah, so it means that we do not need to rely on the medicine. We can do this digital therapeutic method to help the ADHD children. So here shows the prescription here to the ADHD children. So we also developed such a device and we perform the technology in several hospitals in Taiwan. So and then we perform the AI algorithm for help for develop such a system. So here just show a quick so you can see the kids just using our device and perform the task. So we can according their behavior and the EEG activity, so then we can develop the algorithm. Okay, so here just show the results. So the accuracy for recognize the ADHD children so can be reached around 85% and to 90%. Only from the occipital region beta activity. Okay, so final one is that we do the sleep quality enhancement. So an interesting study I want to share with you is that so using lavender aroma stimulation can improve sleep quality. So we published this paper in 2021. So we show that with the aroma stimulation, so in the deep sleep night, so he can participants can perform a better sleep than the control night. So also through our device, EEG device, can help people to understand their sleep quality. Okay, so summary our application. So I want to share with you. So focus on the EEG device and the new trends and collaborate with the industrials. Can be make more better for the human or patients. Increase their life. Thank you for your attention.
All right. Thank you so much, Li-Wei. Very exciting work as well. We're going to go next to Professor Po-Lei Lee. Professor Lee.
Okay.
Yes. If you can share your screen.
Okay.
We also would like later, Charlene has shared on the chat to also encourage panelists to talk about kinds of jobs and industry. And we will pick that up later in the Q&A. Yeah. Okay, we see your screen.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
And start the slideshow if you want.
Okay, I'm Po-Lei Lee at the National Central University, Department of Electrical Engineering. I am also in the same field as Professor Ko. We are doing brain-computer interface. And today I want to, because we are in Department of Electrical Engineering, so today I talk we are more related to the equipment, what we design for this field. Okay, so this is the dry electrode we have designed. We increase the contactable ability, and we also apply a dry electrode, design a wireless EEG. Sorry, maybe I need to enlarge.
Share the screen. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That is better.
Yes.
So this is our portable wireless EEG system. It can be used for 4 channel, 8 channel, or we can do it for whole head. And this is the size is 3 meter by 4 centimeter. And we can use it for Bluetooth transmission or Wi-Fi transmission also. And we also design electric stimulation devices for TDCS and TACS, and also for functional electric stimulations. And all these systems, we also pass the medical electrical equipment certificate, and also pass the SGS examinations. And this is our dry electrode system, and we can use it for whole head system. And this is a demonstration. We can combine it with AR, VR glasses, and use it for this is our EEG system here, and this is a whole head dry electrode. So you can use it for manipulate a control a drone or UAV. Okay, and we also design our we also use it for a driving system for BCI drive control, and so you can this is a whole head EEG, and you can measure the EEG activities, and before users try to train themselves in a real driving activity, and then they relate it to the brain activities to the real driving behaviors. Okay. Okay, so we also use it for imagery movements, and combined with VR. So that is the training environment in VR environment, and we can see that the better performance if you train the BCI in the VR environment compared to just the screen environment. So you can see here, and when there's a left arrow appeared, the subject try to control the virtual character to move his right hand or left hand. Okay. Also, we developed brain electric stimulation, and so we also do animal studies. And this is a pig, small pig, and this is the SEEG, and we do time interfering electric stimulation. So for use 2K and 2.1 kHz, and we can do a electric wave interfering to a deeper brain structure. So in this study, we successfully suppress the epilepsy activities in this pig. Okay. So, and the system also can be used for the functional electric stimulation. So we can use it for rehabilitation purpose also. And then we also develop an inertial measurement unit by ourselves, and so the inertial measurement unit still inertial measurement unit can be used to record the body motions and of the subject, and the body motions can be labeled and mapping to the brain activity for further AI training. And the remote that is also can be used for remote robot control here. So for example, now we are trying to use brain activity also combined with the IMU to control remote robots. Yeah. Okay. I think this is all my talk today. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you so much, Po-Lei. It's again very cool work that you guys are doing. I wish I could be doing this cool work. But also, so the last one is Dr.
Okay.
Vince Wu.
Sorry.
Oh yes, you have something else?
No, I need to. I cannot find my Webex. Sorry.
Oh, Webex.
I need to stop sharing my screen.
The Vince, if you can share, you will kick Po-Lei out. Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
Sorry.
Me out. Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
There you go.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me over to the BrainHack School. And I assume like my experience is probably not very directly linked to the industry, but more on the side of a collaboration between academia and industry. So my name is Chien-Te Wu, and I'm currently a project associate professor in the International Research Center for Neurointelligence at the University of Tokyo. And before I came here in 2021, I was actually associate professor in the School of Occupational Therapy, College of Medicine at National Taiwan University. And my bachelor degree is actually also in occupational therapy, but I got my PhD in psychology and neuroscience. So my background kind of cover both the clinical side as well as the some basic science like the psychology part. And as a scientist, as a cognitive neuroscientist, I always take a biopsychosocial spiritual model approach to study the brain function and dysfunction. And therefore, my past research have been covering all these 4 different factors and how these factors may either affect or influence or have an impact on the behaviors, and as well as the link between the brain and behaviors. And my experience with the industry collaboration can be categorized in 2 different types. So the first is actually a very long-term collaboration with Professor Yihong Liu, who unfortunately cannot join the BrainHack School this year, but he has kindly agreed that he will join next year to share his experience to start a company, HippoScreen. But here I'm going to just give you some hint about what we do. Basically, over the years, we have been trying to use the EEG to develop some algorithm for detecting or extracting some useful features for assisting the diagnosis in, for example, major depressive disorders or early neurodegenerative disorders such as like myocognitive impairment. And what we are trying to do here is to apply or integrate the knowledge between psychology and neuroscience as well as like the AI algorithm to develop some EEG systems for assisting such early detection in the clinic side or in the in community. And my role actually as a cognitive neuroscientist is more on the side of like experimental design based on the knowledge of psychology and neuroscience. How, what kind of EEG feature could be, more valid and effective, and as well as the data interpretation. And now I'm working in the IRCN, and IRCN is actually a very new and young center at University of Tokyo. And the ultimate goal of this center is actually trying to develop neural-inspired AI using the knowledge of neurobiology, neuroscience, and cognitive neuroscience and psychology. And right now, I am actually working in a social cooperation program at UTokyo. So social cooperation program is a very special kind of like industry university collaboration program, and it's usually established with a certain company. And based on the regulation, I cannot share too many details here without any approval. So I'm not going to talk about the specific names or details, but you can imagine this as a very long-term collaboration between the industry and the university. And they are actually combined together to try to develop or solve some issues that have a social impact. And right now, like my position or the project I'm working on is about the creativity. That is like something that we are working on right now. And I'll be happy to share some of those later on. But I will just stop here and then let's just move to the Q&A. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chien-Te. Thank you to all the panelists. Actually, I think this is so exciting. I'm excited just hearing all four of you, all four of you share. So I think right now I will open this time for Q&A. If students or anyone else, even the panelists, if you want to ask each other questions, this is a free for all. And please go ahead and just speak, or you can type your questions if you feel shy. You can type your questions in the chat. And I guess I will get the ball rolling by just picking up from Charlene's question in the chat window. Charlene asked if you could share your experience and insights about like what kind of skill sets you think would be required for the jobs in the industry side that you guys are working in. So like, for example, if I'm a student, and I want to get a job, what should I do, or how should I train myself so that I can get a job in your companies or your industries? Maybe we can go one round. Maybe Prof. Tseng first, the same order, if that would be useful.
Well, I review interview requests almost every day. But yeah, I think what catches my eyes are the resume that express enthusiasm in going to this industry, especially the people who are applying to my company. I also want to know how well they know about what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I think enthusiasm is the most important element that I'm looking.
Okay.
Okay. That's
how about skill set? Any skill set or?
Well, actually, for graduate students, I think all you need to learn all over again when you enter the company.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Yeah, the basic skills are still required, and I believe almost every student should have acquired these basic skills in the graduate school.
Okay. How about Prof. Ko, Li-Wei?
Regarding this question, yeah, I think we can. We are talking about the job available, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
So
what should the students? What kind of skill sets are required, or how would the student, get an opportunity to work in this kind of jobs?
Yeah. Yeah. From my point of view, I think yeah, it can divide into two different aspects. Yeah. For instance, the one is that the student, their background, if they are from engineering, electrical engineering, or computer science. Yeah, so I think right now it's yeah, there are many IT related company and the famous related company, so they don't need to worry, yeah, to find a good job. But the main problem will be that what they learn in the university, in the school, yeah, so that might be total different, yeah, when they join to the company,
Yeah.
yeah, for the next. Yeah, so yeah, but from our side, since we are working on the interdisciplinary research field, so our students take my student as the example. They can also join into such big company like a TSMC or MediaTek or or Quanta, some famous company. Yeah, but some of them they need to do a new training, and some of them maybe can join some biomedical related branch.
Right.
Yeah, so from my understanding, there are some students, even they are in the neuroscience field or neuroengineering field. Yeah, so they can also find a good way, a good company, even some new startup company. Like Dr. Wu just shared. Hippo, Hongzhi Shengyi, Professor Liu, he is the founder.
Yeah.
So they are also seeking some new
So
this kind of background students. Yeah.
I'm wondering, because I see a common thread, like even if a fresh graduate were to get into a company or get a chance, it seems like they still have to do a fresh training.
Yeah.
And I guess one question I've also experienced or heard from students is then, is this a given that that the company will demand that you have fresh training, or in being able to do a job, you definitely still have to learn new things, but will the company tends to give you this fresh training, or is that something they have to, I don't know, prepare or work out?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Maybe one some possibility is that if the company is also directly collaborate with the lab,
right?
So the student, they just graduate, can be direct, maybe can pass the training, they can directly enter into the division and work on the product or on the
Okay.
Yes.
How about Chien-Te?
Yeah, I guess like it's kind of vague actually for a psychology or neuroscience background, because like most of the time like we are considered as more like on the basic science end, and then most of us will picture our future will be in academia or like in a research institution like I did when I graduated from my program. But then later on, I start to feel like the world is rapidly changing, and I feel there are more and more company require some people with multiple background or interdisciplinary background. Also, I feel like for us at least, like probably we cannot compete with like computer science or engineer background with like the algorithm or the hardware or the software. But one thing that we should probably keep in mind is that what would be the niche for a psychology and neuroscience? It would be our knowledge and our the research design to study the human behavior, and how can those knowledge be translated into clinical application. And if you hold on to that, I feel like there's always something that we can contribute, especially like, you know, in the future that there will be more and more need to try to integrate different disciplinary, knowledge base.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you. I think Po-Lei dropped out. I don't see. Prof. Lee, are you online? He might have dropped out. It's okay. So yeah, I was afraid I skipped him. We have one more question for students who know they want to work in industry versus academia. Would you give different recommendations to prepare them for securing a job? So like if I wanted to start out right from the start, I want to go into industry, then should I even go to graduate school? So I don't know, Prof. Tseng, what do you think?
Well, I prefer master degree to
Okay.
start with.
So you still have to go to master's program at least.
Yeah. At least you have some experience in thesis.
Writing.
Thesis.
Yeah.
Writing and experiment. I think that is a very good training for master students. Better than a college students. So this is my basic requirement.
Okay. And how about next, the other two? What do y'all think? What are your requirements for the Ke?
You mean in the university or in the company?
I mean, like, you know, it's like we hear of so many exciting stories of they don't even finish college, right? And then they make big money.
Okay.
So is this a path to go? Yeah.
Yeah, from my point of view, I suggest student if I do encourage student can study PhD because they can
even higher.
because they can really train more complete and train their thought and maybe for even PhD got the PhD degree and to join to the company so they can help the company to make the product is completely and also to think much more future directions, right? Not just focus on the single product and just do it and try just do it and that it can make it. That's all. But from the interdisciplinary field research field, so such company in Taiwan is very less. Yes, and the people and this company all like a master student first, something like that. So I do encourage that if students they study PhD, so they must go abroad, to search. So that as I just show the slides, you see Google or some famous Facebook or like right now it's called Meta and also Apple. From my understanding, they have a different branch or division working on such an interdisciplinary field. So student may get much more opportunities from these regions. So this is my
Let me pick up here first before you go to Chien-Te. So if you have, also Prof. Tseng, if you have master's student and PhD student, which one will you pick to be in your job? Or both are the same?
Well, I prefer master student.
So not PhD student, so overqualified or something.
There are problems for PhD students. First, the the salary will be higher.
Right, you cost more. They cost more. Yeah, yeah.
And second, it's not easy to use for PhD students.
Yes.
It's more easier to train fresh master students because they are more flexible.
Okay. So I cannot work in your company then.
No, I don't welcome you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. How about Prof. Kurt?
Yeah, I do agree with Professor Tseng's comment. Yeah, because you already have a very well thought and you know and know the product in your company in the future it may look like so you only need a master student to help develop such a product. But from my understanding, since I also collaborate with several industrial companies in Science Park in Hsinchu Science Park. So their vision is that they always discuss with us, and also encourage our PhD student to join their company after their graduation. Because they want. I think they have. So it depends on because such companies, some of these companies, they don't have R&D departments. So maybe rely on the student, rely on lab, to develop the techniques and then transfer to the company. They can package it, and as the final product, or as their company as the product in their company, something like that. So probably from my point of view, it is from different point of view, to see the company, their thought, the heads, their thought.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We go to Chien-Te about the master and how much training, and then we pick up the other questions very quickly.
Sure. I guess for me it kind of varies, right? Because like for academia, definitely the bottom line would be a PhD. So if you're already thinking about going for academia, then definitely a PhD almost is a must, right? But like if you're going to industry, then like Professor Tseng and Professor Ko saying, master student is probably more preferable in certain ways. And also if you are actually looking for a job, in other countries, for example, like the United States, they probably don't even care if you have a degree or not. They probably care more about what kind of skill set you have. So it would be in the very beginning, if you are aiming for a certain industry, then probably a better way is to look for their job advertisement and to see what kind of skill set they're looking for. And then to just like strengthen that kind of skill set will be more helpful. But on the other hand, I feel like the training for master degree versus like the PhD degree have like different purposes. So you don't have like pros and cons, and sometimes like it doesn't necessarily mean like you go for a PhD, you're just trying to get to academia, or you just like industry, but sometimes it's just a self accomplishment and self fulfillment. So it really it's not like that. But again, like practically, it depends on what kind of skill set they're looking for. If you know ahead of time, then I guess just try to get it prepared.
Oh, thank you. Very inspiring. So we have another question would be, if you were to go back to your earlier days of trying things out and struggling, in research, in academia, right? What would you do differently, on hindsight, you think? Or not? Maybe everything was as planned or ideal. What would you recommend to yourself back then, if you think back? I'm going to open this to all three at the same time. Whoever wants to answer first.
Let me begin. If I go back to academia again, I think I will think differently as I did in terms of the in terms of the business opportunity. Yeah. What strikes me the most is that when I visited Harvard University, WIS Institute, which is an institute that doing research and development, but their goal is to make it commercial product and enter the market, because this is the realization of your research achievement to make a more better world tomorrow. So I think this is the view I will take if I go back to academia.
Oh, okay.
That means what's your contribution to the society, and what it will bring to society in terms of the human benefits.
Okay. Thank you. Very deep. How about the other two panelists?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, from academic field, I think right now I think I train students. I do hope our student can not only just develop the technology or develop the algorithm, but also they can really do the technology into the real practice. Oh, sorry. Professor Lee just called me.
Oh.
So maybe Dr. Wu go first. Sorry.
Vince can pick it up.
All right. So I guess like if I can go way early back, for example, like when I choose my college major, if that early, I would probably choose some basic science, for example, like physics, mathematics, or chemistry. The reason is that I feel like as my research has been going on and on, I feel like sometimes I lack very, very basic kind of like a conceptual or like a training for thinking something deeper, right? And I feel like in the future, if like you're trying to get your research go deeper, earlier time training with very, very basic science is very important. So I kind of, if I would suggest my younger self, I would probably like say like I should choose like something like more basic science. And but if like speaking like everything is all set, like it's too late, then starting from like PhD, I would probably focus more on again the basic idea of like why we're studying this, and then sometimes think even more about how can we use this knowledge for. So most of the time when I was like doing my PhD, I never tried to think about like what is this knowledge for. I just simply want to know why. For example, I want to know some mechanism about like memory, about attention, but I never try to think further about why do we want to study that. But right now, if I go back, I would probably think more about like why is it important to know this? Can it be useful? Can it make a contribution, like Professor Tseng says, like contribution to the society, to the humankind? In that way, maybe I would have a different kind of perspective about like how can I proceed with my research, I would say.
Okay, some common lines there, I guess. Okay, I think almost time, but let's just take the last question. We have a question from Song Bin, who asks, how do we cultivate the ability to identify the niche for industry, that what industry needs, and the ability to translate our skills into some practical usage? How do we cultivate this sense? I think that's something that maybe a basic university doesn't really train you to, I suppose. Prof. Tseng, any opinions on that or advice on that?
I really have no clear answer to this question. But indeed, university doesn't teach students about how to get into the industry.
Right.
I think this is the most weak aspect of the university.
Yeah.
So I suggest for those who want to enter the industry or even start up a new company or even work with a company, start up new company. I think it's better to take the classes like or involved in the innovation center or some accelerator programs
Right.
for startup companies to get experience of what is all about startup. Yes, I think there are a lot of lessons to learn because there are many rules in the startup world. If you want to get into this industry, you need to know the rules first, and then you can decide whether you want to go this direction. So I think universities should provide this kind of classes. Even basic classes is very good for those who graduate and will end up in the industry. I think they all need this kind of knowledge.
That's a good, we're playing and toying with the idea is if we could invite industry people to come and teach some classes, as part of the academia curriculum or syllabus, something along those lines might be useful. Chien-Te, what about you?
I think one thing that kind of helped me a lot, during the collaboration is that, try to talk to people outside of your field. Because like I feel like most of the time we are so diving into our own field and then talking to the same kind, and it would be just like cultivating similar mindset. But if you just walk out of your field, talk to different disciplinary, it would just give you some different perspective, and then that will kind of stimulate you sometimes, like about like oh, actually people are thinking differently, and then if we have like some collaboration, that it might kind of cook something really differently. So I would say like always have a chance to talk to people outside the field will be very helpful, I would say.
Thank you. And Professor Ke, you're back.
Yes.
Professor Lee, is he okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry that Professor Lee just told to me that he has because right now he is the vice dean of College of E. Yeah, so he has another meeting.
No problem.
Yeah, so he's quite busy. Yeah, so he would like to say sorry to everyone. Yeah.
No worries. We very much appreciate everyone's time here. And I guess because time is up, I will close this meeting for now. And we thank everyone for the panelists, especially for the amazing sharing and experience. I think actually we have learned so much in this 1 hour than we have for a long time. So we hope very much that we have a chance to continue to interact in the future, and also in BrainHack School, and the students, if they are interested, if they would approach you, we hope that there will be opportunity to continue to know more and learn more from each other. So with that, I'm going to close this meeting, and I'm going to stop the recording now. And I thank everyone for their time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.